Problem 552. Complete the square for x to write the equation that follows in graphing form and sketch the graph of x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 16 equals 0. What is the parent graph and how has it been transformed? We have an x squared and a y squared. Thinking maybe we've got something like a circle. So they want us to put it into the graphing form. So I'm going to recopy it down here first. And as we look at this, we have an x squared term. We have a minus 4x. So there's a y squared, and then there's our constant. So for me, I like to organize all my information here. I'm going to go ahead and add my 16 to each side to just get rid of my constant. Ooh, sorry, that went a little uphill. And I'm going to reorder what I have on my left side here. I'm going to say x squared minus 4x. And then I know I'm going to have to complete the square there. So I'm going to say plus blank, because I'm going to have to add something there, plus my y squared. And because I don't have any other y terms there, I'm not going to worry about having to complete the square for y. So that should equal 16. Now, if I'm going to add something over here to complete the square, I might as well think about adding something on this side too. Now, in order to complete the square here, x squared minus 4x plus blank. Well, remember, if you need to draw out the generic rectangle to think about it, that's okay. Some of you may have the formula memorized for completing the square. It's up to you. We know that we would have an x squared here, and we'd have to break our minus 4x in half. So we'd have to have a minus 2x and a minus 2x, which then leads us to x minus 2 and x minus 2 on the outside. So this is what would give us a perfect square trinomial inside of here. Negative 2 times negative 2 would be 4. That 4 is very important. We're going to have to add 4 here. And if we do that, we're also going to have to add it over here. Now, the reason we completed the square here with all of this was so that we could factor it. This becomes the quantity of x minus 2 times the quantity of x minus 2, or x minus 2 squared plus y squared should equal 20. So what we've got here is, what is the parent graph and how has it been transformed? Well, the parent graph for a circle is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So how is this one going to be transformed? Well, we're going to have to have moved it 2 to the right. That's transformed. My marker got a little silly on me there, but we're going to move it right 2 units. So our center, which is HK, remember is going to be 2, 0. And our radius is going to be the square root of 20, which is going to be 2 radical 5. So if we're going to do a rough sketch here, well, our center point, 1, 2, 0, so it should be about right here. Now 2 radical 5, if we think about it, we know that radical 4 is equal to 2, and radical 9 is equal to 3. So radical 5 is a lot closer to radical 4. So this is going to be a little bit above 2. So if we're doing a little bit above 2 times 2, we could say this is probably going to be approximately 4.5 units. You could also type it in the calculator to figure that out. But if I'm going to do a rough sketch, I got my center point, and I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe about a half, so somewhere about right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe about a half. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe about a half. And then down 1, 2, 3, 4, about a half. Then you can take it and kind of sketch it in there. One, two. It's not really 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. It is. I don't think my scale on my graph is great. Anyway, I'm glad you probably enjoyed listening to all that. So here is the equation. Remember, the parent function is this. This is our circle, kind of. It looks like somebody stepped on it or hit it with a bat or something. And it was transformed to the right 2 units. So have we covered everything there? I think we have. That is it. That is problem 5-52. Hopefully this helped. If you still have questions, make sure you ask your teacher.